Hi, my name is Jennifer, and Fred and I are here to wish you a happy Vlogmas. It is officially December 1st, and we are working on lots of things gearing up for the holidays, and we wanted to share some of the projects we're working on, as well as maybe hearing from you on what your secrets are to getting through the holidays a little less stressful than normal, and having enough time to enjoy every day while still managing to get those final gifts done and advent calendars opened without missing the festivities and this time of year when we all just need to be a little more chill, a little more relaxed, and a little more happy. So I think what I'm going to start with today is the first Arna and Carlos Advent Calendar Christmas Ball. They stitched theirs on Rowan yarn, which I'm sure if I looked I could find a stockist here in the area that sells it or order it online, but 'tis the season to shop local, so I decided to go with a store here. I'm in North Texas, so McKinney Knittery was very accommodating and had quite a bit of yarn that I thought was pretty close to the same weight and content as what Arna and Carlos are using. So I'm hoping my Advent ball every day turns out about the same size that they are knitting up themselves. So the yarn I'm using is Big Bad Wool Wipaka, and I have 3 colors. They have a Arna and Carlos are using a red, a green, and then kind of a neutral white, not a true white, but more like a winter white. So the 3 colors that I went with in the Wipaka are Olive You and Redbird and what they call Raw White. And so each day we're kind of following along. You can go to Arna and Carlos's website and actually buy this year's Advent calendar that has the Christmas balls for each day. It gives you a generic pattern that you're going to follow. And as a matter of fact, I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's right here. I actually, the first day, or prior to today, when I got the pattern, I kind of wanted to do a test run. And of the 3 colors, the one color that was not going to be used the most was the green. So I just knit not a full-sized ball, but just a ball that got me through the pattern increases and decreases, just to see how it would look. And since green was the one color that was less than going to be used less than all the others, that's the one that I thought that I would test on. Not that I was going to run out. As a matter of fact, I was doing my gauge and realized I think my balls are actually a little bit smaller than theirs, but I still ordered the same yardage of yarn. So either I'm going to have a lot of yarn left, or somehow this may all work out cosmically that I actually had enough yarn to do each ball and, you know, had a little bit left over. Or it may turn out that I'm still short and I got to order more. So we'll see what happens. But in saying all that, I wanted to show you this was just the plain green ball that I knit using their pattern. Now, there were a couple of minor differences that I did. Their decreases that they show in the pattern on how to do their decreases are slightly different, and I was just doing a traditional knit front to back just to get the decreases or increases, and then the knit 2 together to get the decreases. But their balls actually have each day has a pattern, a colorwork pattern on it. So this ball is actually a bit smaller. I'm missing probably, gosh, if I had to guess, 10, 12 rows maybe of just, what would have been just solid green. And again, I was just trying to get the pattern down in a solid color just to see how it was going to go. So when I did come and knit the first day, I had the gist down. Basically, I knew what I was knitting. I just didn't, all I had to worry about was the color work pattern. So, having said all that, this is my first color, or my first ball. This is I think they call it the spruce, the first day, and it basically repeats the pattern 4 times all the way around the ball. And as you can see, this is slightly smaller. So I didn't knit all this extra, just, even rounds all the way across between the increases and the decreases. So, but this is my first ball, and I'm really happy with it. It turned out super cute. Arna and Carlos recommended, or suggested, they had actually put little, like, crystal decorations on their tree. But they realized, one, that they use Swarovski crystals, and they realized that was kind of expensive and not everybody could get their hands on them. So it's not that you had to decorate them. I really kind of like it, kind of a little more rustic looking. But I debated on some of the other ones that have decorations as well. I remember my grandmother as a kid making Christmas decorations and doing the old sewing a sequin with a little clear bead in the center. So I thought about that. I thought about just beads, just sewing some seed beads on them. So I haven't quite decided yet, but I love the look of this tree one. So I really think for right now I'm just going to go with just the yarn pattern, and I think they're absolutely adorable. And I'm really happy. And this took, I'm going to say, a couple of hours. 2 to 3. There was some time in the beginning because I had only wound the green so far, and I hadn't wound the red or the white yet. So I still had to do that before I got started on this. So there's some time for that took place, to get these wound, so I could get started. But I think now that I've got all that done, these will go a lot quicker. And some of them have a lot more color work, and some of them have a lot less. And the really nice thing is, if you're scared of the color work because of, normally, like with a sweater or a cowl or a hat or something like that, when you're doing stranded color work, you're having to worry about carrying those floats and puckering. Well, the nice thing is this is a nice round squishy ball. So there's a lot of forgiveness in this pattern. I can definitely tell, like here, there's some puckering, so obviously my floats are a little too tight there, but you're going to stuff it. You're going to stuff it with filling, and it's going to be squishy, and not everybody's going to see every side. And I know there are spots where my yarn got kind of snagged on something and doesn't look perfect, but for a Christmas ornament, I think it's absolutely adorable. And for handmade, that's kind of the look you want, is like not perfect, because then it doesn't look store-bought. It looks like you actually made it yourself. So anyways, I'm looking forward to these. I hope every day I will have one done to show you guys. And they are doing a hashtag giveaway on Instagram. So if you're doing this as well, go out and look for their hashtags on Instagram. Everybody's going to be posting their balls every day, and you couldn't post before December 1st. So everything from December 1st through December 24th, every day that you post a picture, you're eligible. And they have some really neat prizes. And they have a YouTube channel. You guys should go check them out. They're totally funny. And you really get to know them really well. I mean, their personalities, and you get to see other things that they're up to. I mean, right now, every day, they're posting a short little YouTube of their Christmas ball. But you also get just a look inside of their lives. And being in Norway, some of us in other parts of the world don't get to see that every day. So it's kind of nice to see, what they're up to, and kind of help spread the holiday cheer from other parts of the world. So anyway, really happy with this ball. So this got done today, and I'm really excited. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the next 23. left to do. Hopefully I can keep up day to day. They don't take too long, but sometimes you run out of time, and it's one of those things that you hope you still have time to fit in. So there's my Advent ball for the day. Another Advent that if people around here are familiar with, I broke down and bought one of those little chocolate Advent calendar things at the store also, and it's dark chocolate, so I'm hoping it's a little healthier, but I think the company is Divine, and they're like a fair trade chocolate company, and so I had my first piece of chocolate today, and it was just a simple dark chocolate candy, a little chocolate heart. So hopefully every day I'll fill you in on what's in there. I read on the back there should be some other fillings and nuts and stuff too, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. The third Advent that I'm working on, or not working on, but I have decided to participate in, sort of, is Katrinkles. If you're not familiar with Katrinkles, they're a company out of Rhode Island that they make knitting notions, so mostly stitch markers, but also needle gauges and swatch gauges and stuff like that. Their darning tools are absolutely adorable. A lot of their stuff is made out of wood, but they do have started doing some acrylics as well. And in the past I have done yarn advents, and I kind of missed, most of those yarn advents get posted, back like in October or whatever, so these yarn dyers have time to, figure out how many orders they've got and whatever, and they only sell so many, and they sell out super fast. And I've participated in those for a couple of years, but I've got a ton of yarn, so I thought it'd be something different to do. But to give you an idea, Katrinkles has a whole line, or had a whole line this year, of cat themed stuff that they made. This is not part of the Advent calendar, but I kind of wanted to show you because I am a big fan, some of the other stuff that they do. So like this is, of course, a needle rule, a needle gauge for if you don't know what size needle you've got in your hands or whatever, or you got, like me, 40 pairs of, or 40 sets of DPNs, you don't know which size is which. This is great for that. Plus a little small gauge ruler at the bottom for measuring gauge on your swatches. These were little wooden cat stitch markers, and then she had also, or they had also made acrylic. Aren't those adorable? So cute. Acrylic cat stitch markers. As you can tell, I haven't used them yet. I have a ton of stitch markers, and these kind of, they didn't come recently or anything. I just haven't gotten them fully out of the package yet. And another thing she did, if I can find it, I think they're right here. She also makes tags. So like, if you want to put a tag on a hat or a scarf or handmade, hand knit gift for Christmas, she also makes little punch tags. And she's got all different kinds. I mean, I just was trying to find something that, I like, that was simple enough that people would like, that wouldn't be, and the nice thing was, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but they're washable. So, as I'm making Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or whatever, I can sew those tags on. You are going to have to excuse my cat. She is being a diva. So hold on for just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So I don't know where we left off, but if things look different, the cat went totally crazy and knocked everything over, and I kind of had to start kind of where I left off. Hopefully you got the gist of my backstory about Katrinkles. So saying all that, I wanted to share with you their Advent calendar this year. They put together a really, really cute stitch marker Advent calendar. And so, of course, when I got it, it was in a much smaller box than what a yarn Advent would be in. But this is how it came. Ta-da! And there's package for every day. And, of course, every day you open one. And this, I believe, is a little pin. Isn't it adorable? A little flamingo with a Santa hat. So, along with that, she included this little note that says, your 2020 Katrinkles 25 Days of Stitch Markers Advent Calendar is here. Of course, starting on the 1st of December, open the envelope labeled 1 and continue to count down to Christmas by sequentially opening one present each day. Wishing you a happy and healthy season that's filled with inspiration and crafting, and mentions, tagging any Advent calendar pictures with the hashtag. So, and there's her information. This is her, I believe, her Instagram and all that good stuff, and her website where you can order whatever you want. Of course, there's more of her Santa hat flamingos. So, with that, I cut open, so there's not a lot of crinkle trying to get this open, but I have not looked in here yet. So, let's see what one is. Oh, and it's so cute. It's a little sparkly stocking, which is absolutely adorable. Very, 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 very cool. So, I'm sure I will find something to work on. I've got lots of plans for lots of things that I want to work on between now and Christmas. So this will definitely get put to good use, but it's just so sparkly and so pretty. All right. So, yay. Day number 1 down on my Advent calendar. Looking forward to it. I'm so excited. So, after all the Advent business is done, I thought I'd show you a few things that I'm working on. One of which was, of course, the Christmas ornament. So I'm doing one of those every day, as long as I've got the time to do them. Another thing that I'm doing every day is Black Needle Society is running a 12 days of stitches, kind of stitch along, I guess you'd call it, on social media. And I learned about that from a couple of other YouTubers, Two Martini Stitchers one, and Bendy Stitchies another. And so basically the gist is for the next, from the 1st to the 24th, leading up to Christmas, you pick 12 projects that you want to work on. Basically you have 2 days, 12 projects that you can work over 2 days, which equals the 24 days up to Christmas. So, they gave everybody some prompts, like some ideas, but you don't have to follow it. You can do whatever you want. So, I've got, I think, 6 or 7 that I've picked. And so I've got a few more that I got to decide what I want to do. And most of those ladies are really serious about their cross stitching. So they pick these huge projects, and I don't have enough time with everything left that I want to do. So what I'm going to try to do is pick smaller projects, something that I can finish or get close to finish, and then either turn them into ornaments. And actually a couple of them they're designed to be turned into Christmas ornaments. There's a third one that I actually is the one I started today, that it was designed to be like the insert in like a card to put with a gift, but I thought it would be a good sized ornament too. I mean, it was just a suggestion as far as it goes. So I will show you. This is my project bag that the first one I ever stitched myself, and got the directions actually from a YouTube video on here. So if anybody's interested, I'll post it in the comments. Just let me know. But so I'm going to post a picture of the finished project. But one of the prompts was for the 12 Days of Stitchmas was to stitch something with a wreath. And of course, I don't have this done yet, but this is what I got done today. So, and it's a poinsettia wreath. And like I said, I'll post a picture to show you what the finished object actually looks like. But that's as far as I got. But you can see it's really small. It's only going to take up, about that much room. So, and this is, you know, an hour or something of stitching. Like I was actually watching other YouTube podcasts when I was working on this. So, you know, it's not perfect. And I found out in here I'm off, but fortunately there's only, you know, like 6 or 8 stitches I have to rip back. So it won't be that big of a deal. But once this is done, then there are some white French knot, you know, centers for the flowers. And then there's a lot of back stitching too. But hopefully this is, like I said, an achievable project between now and the 24th of December. And a lot of the projects that I picked are this size. They just, like I said, these ladies, they do big, huge thing. I mean, you watch their floss tube and it's like, it's incredible what they work on. And I don't have that much time right now, but I wanted to participate. So this is what I'm working on currently. So this is my day one. This is the wreath. Some of the other ones were Stitch Something that either is titled Deck the Halls or has the word Deck the Halls in it. Another one was to stitch an ornament, which, like I said, this was meant for the insert of like a greeting card, but this can easily be a little wreath ornament or something. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with that. I don't want to do the card thing, but I haven't quite decided. But a couple of the other ones that I picked, the Deck the Halls one that I picked, which I'll show you one day this week when I start working on it, it's designed to be an ornament. And then there was another one that I specifically picked because it is, you're supposed to stitch it on fabric, and it's, then you stuff it, you know, make a little ornament out of that. Another prompt I think was snowmen. So I found a project that I'm gonna work on. Another prompt was work on something that's not Christmas. And that one I'm hoping will actually be, a Christmas gift, but it's not Christmas themed for someone. So that's my non-Christmas item I'm going to work on. And then one of the prompts was to stitch the oldest pattern you have, which all of my patterns, cross-stitch patterns that I have, are basically mostly magazines, and that's where most of these came from. So what I did was I found the oldest issue that I had with a Christmas pattern in it, and it's like November, gosh, of 17 or something. So it's not that old, but it's what I think is the oldest thing, you know, the oldest pattern I have, and it's a bigger pattern. It's the one that I've chosen so far that is actually a bigger pattern. Anyway, so there's some other things too. Like I said, they're only working on 12, so like I said, 2 days worth of work over 24, you know, the 24 days leading up to Christmas. So I think I can manage that. I probably won't get them all done, but as long as I keep them small, they'll seem achievable. So, so that was my cross stitch work in progress. My knitting work in progress. So I'm trying to get Christmas socks done. I'm sure everybody else is, and mine are for gifts for people. So I don't want to give too much away, but right now I'm in such the early stages of these socks that I think by showing you this, I'm not giving anything away, because all I've done right now is the cuff. And this isn't the main color. This is the contrasting color. I'm not going to show the main color. It's a Lollipop Yarns striping sock yarn, but I'm not going to show it because I'm afraid that will kind of give it away, because if the person that I'm giving this to is watching, then they won't be surprised. But there's my cuff. And this is this, harking back to Yarn Advents, I believe is a mini that came in a Yarn Advent from a company called Pearl and Ply. I don't think they still exist anymore. They were a couple of ladies in Amarillo, Texas, and I went in, actually got to meet one of them one day at a local yarn show here, and they were the sweetest girls, and so I did in, I think 2018, order their Christmas Advent. And I think shortly after that, like into 2019 at some point, their lives just got busy. I think they're both moms, and, you know, their kids are growing up and they got a lot of things going on, and to be independent dyers and try to keep up with all that and social media and a website and everything, I think it was a lot for them, which who can blame them? I mean, seriously, more power to you if you're someone that's trying to do all of those things, you know, and still have some time for yourself, for starters. So anyway, so this is one cuff of one sock, and I'll post the information on the pattern I'm using. It's actually a free pattern, and I think it's called Stripy Socks, but it's spelled a little bit differently. It's STRYPPY. Socks, but you guys probably are familiar with it. But anyways, it's a really cute little, it's got a little detail down one side of each of the socks. It's really, really cute. But like I said, it's a free pattern, so I'll post it as well, post a picture of it so you can kind of see. Those won't be the colors I'm using. My colors are going to be more bluish, different shades of blue for these. And I'm going to do, I haven't decided if this pattern goes really well. I'm actually going to do 2 pairs of socks for gifts this year. One person knows, sort of, that they're getting a pair of socks because I had her pick the color. I had several lollipop yarn balls, and I wanted her to pick the color of socks that she would wear. I didn't want to give her a pair that she wouldn't wear, so I kind of sent her a picture of like 4 or 5 different ones that I'd bought. And said, hey, you know, do you like any of these? Would you like a pair of socks this year? So she knows she's getting socks. She doesn't necessarily know what they're going to look like. She just knows what colors they're going to be. So my plan is to get these done and get those done, you know, by like the 19th. And I've got my calendar planned of everything I need to do to stay up with, you know, how far along I need to get. And I'm doing I'm not doing long socks. I'm not doing like 7-inch socks. I'm going to do like, you know, 7-inch leg. These are probably going to be like 5-inch. I kind of learned, me personally, that if it gets much longer than 5-inch, my calves get pretty big and they start to stretch out, and then they start to slouch, you know, down, pull down, because my legs can't hold them up. So I think, not that either of the people that I'm giving these to have calves like mine, but I think that a 5-inch leg is actually kind of a nice length for anyone. It's not a shorty. It's not an ankle sock. Some people don't like those. They're too short, or, you know, if they're way too short, then they start to pull down on your heel, and then all of a sudden you got it, you know, riding down your shoe, and nobody likes that. And then, like I said, if they're too long, then they get slouchy. And slouchy isn't bad, but not everybody likes slouchy. A lot of people like socks that actually fit and stay up. So, so my plan is to knit 2 pair of, you know, a 5-inch length sock for a couple of gifts this year. And other than that, that's it for day 1 for us. Fred and I really appreciate you sticking around and listening. I hope everybody else's December started off really, really well. It's going to be an interesting year, I think, for all of us across the world. And I hope everybody remembers to be patient and kind with one another, because we're going to have a little bit longer that we're going to have to write all this out. And the last thing anybody needs around the holidays is to have to deal with any more stress than we're already all going through. And we all know we are. So, you know, you can't deny that every one of us hasn't had to deal with some kind of inconvenience, weight, horrible circumstance, or worse. And regardless of what situation we're all in, I think this Christmas ought to be the year we do remember that patience and kindness goes a long way in making someone's not only day, but someone's week or holiday season go much, much easier for them. So glad you guys all stuck around, and we'll see you again tomorrow for day 2, and we'll have some more things to share, and hopefully the cat will be less obtrusive. She will be less annoying than she was today. So happy holidays, everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.